Alright, Flightboss, bitch. Now let me get in. That was a little introduction and shit. Let me get into what's going on now before I make this other stop real quick. You know what I'm saying? They need some money, man. I gotta stay with new phones, new cameras, you know what I'm saying, new shit like that. Like clothes, I don't give a fuck. I got so much clothes, nigga, that I can sit back and rock shit that I've been bought. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Draco, so I don't gain weight. You know what I'm saying? And then I only dress a certain way anyway. Y'all bitches get off the street. And then, you know, at the same time, I'll be on some other shit. You know what I'm saying? But look, check this out. You know, we gonna go to motherfuckers. We gonna go now. Your sun, the sun in your houses. Now, I don't want you to get this confused because look, check this out. If you got any planet in a sign that's 10 degrees or less as your natural self, the house that planet gonna be in is the previous sign, because you know what I'm saying, it's like, oh shit, I'm sliding this shit. It's like the house clock starts a little different than your natural zodiac chart clock. You know what I'm saying? It's all a clock, from the age clock to a lower clock than that. It's a lower clock. There's all big old different clocks that got the same hand, just on a smaller scale. So since your personal planets is like on a smaller 360 scale, on a larger 360 scale, which is still a 360, is the houses. So you can be 10 degrees or less of a sign, and when you go to the houses, that planet going to be in the previous house. So say you're 7 degrees Gemini. In the houses, say your Mercury is in 7 degrees Gemini. When you go in your houses is going to be in the your Mercury is going to be in the Taurus house. It's not going to be in the Gemini house. It's going to be in the Taurus house. You know what I'm saying? Until it reach above, and so on and so on. So that's just like if it's still 30 degrees within each sign. It's still 30 degrees. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, check this out. Now, wherever the sun at, wherever house, not your sun placement, how you naturally act. We talk about the area of life that you're putting these actions to use in. Whatever house the sun is in, that's what you always going to succeed in life. That don't shed too much light, but you can. Everything happens in moderation. But I'm letting you know, the sun is where you're going to be most accepted. When you're trying to do shit. When you try to do shit that's not natural to you, you're gonna get resistance. That's like if you, like say you want to be a doctor, right? So a lot of doctors and shit like that deals with the 6th house. You know what I'm saying? If you got Saturn in that house, I don't care how hard you try to study to be a doctor, you're gonna receive resistance from that house until you learn a specific thing that you didn't learn in the last lifetime. Now I know people like to get on this big old argument about why the fuck are we punished about our last lifetimes. It's not a thing that we're punished. Just look at it like this. People have the wrong outlook on it because they tie down to religions and shit like that. Just think, when you was born, all your planets was in a specific position, right? So from that day you was born, the second you move is the second them planets is moving. So wherever them planets is at now, from your date of birth, that's where the planet's at. Now say you die, right? When you die, you're gonna, depending on how high your consciousness is, you're gonna come right back, right? Now when you die, wherever your planets was at that showed that you died, like your planet alignment showed that you died down here, the planets are still moving. The planets and stars are still moving. So wherever you go, you just continue that path. So you don't know when you actually started, you know. Oh shit. Oh, you don't know when you actually started. You don't know when you actually did this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? You just know where you at now. So your soul could have been in plenty different areas. You know what I'm saying? Finna make another stop. You know what I'm saying? This video is gonna be 3 parts. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? So if you got Saturn, I don't care how hard you try, you're gonna catch resistance until you learn how to take wherever your sun is at. And your sun might be in music, right? But what you're gonna do is, since you will be successful in music, but you don't really like music, use the music to talk about your studies, to be a doctor. And since the sunlight is in your music, that's gonna shine. You're already successful shining light on there. And if you're talking about what you want to do in the 6th house, but you got Saturn in there, use your sun house placement, which is if it's in a music house, if it's in like the 5th house or the 11th house or something like that. Use that, and then your ass that's in so many forms and shapes. You shining light on the 6th house because you're using where your sun at to shine light on the area that you want to succeed in life. So that's really all it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? You use the sun to unblock the doors in the 6th house. So if you got Saturn in the 6th house and you want to be a doctor, you're gonna see refusal. If you don't want to be a musician, but you got the sun in a musician house, then what you would do is use music to talk about your knowledge on being a doctor. And that's using your sun house placement to shine light on the area that's dark. And Saturn is like what, lead or something like that, so the light can't reflect off that, so you always gonna have to learn lessons. But lead give you a heavy portion of something, right? The moon is a reflector from it do reflect the light, so your moon and your sun sign is always reflecting off each other, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's another video. I'm finna make this other stop real quick, meet up with some of my niggas at the gas station, you know, for sure. Flightboss, bitch.